Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to talk a little bit about Gabe Newell, talking about why Steam banned NFTs. I know you guys love your NFTs. I know everybody was super excited when Stalker 2 added them. Obviously, I kid. We'll talk about that. And also, Xbox Game Pass has been a topic that, I've covered quite a bit. I love it as a subscription service. The value it offers is great. PC Gamer asked Gabe Newell if Valve had plans for their own, and he had some interesting things to say. I'll go over that in just a little bit. Okay, so Gabe Newell talked to Eurogamer, first of all, and spoke on why NFTs were not going to be allowed on Steam, noting that the things that were being done were super sketchy, and there was some illegal that was going on behind the scenes, and you're just like, yeah, this is bad. Blockchains as a technology are a great technology, that the ways in which has been utilized are currently all pretty sketchy, and you sort of want to stay away from that. We have the same problem when we're accepting cryptocurrencies. 50% of the cryptocurrency paid for transactions were fraudulent, right? You look at that, and you're like, well, that's bad, and then cryptocurrency volatility means that people had no idea what price that they were actually paying. Yes, they were anchored to a cryptocurrency, but most people wages are not in cryptocurrency, so they're like, how come I just paid $498 for this product? And if the answer is, that's what happens when you have a highly volatile currency that you're paying for. That's like today. You paid 99 cents for it. Tomorrow, you're going to pay $498 for, and people that make people super cranky. So it just wasn't a good method. The people who are currently active in the space are usually not good actors. So Gabe Newell, not too hot on NFTs. I think that'll be seen pretty positively. Valve does have its own things that people talk about with what's available on Steam. And to be honest, the NFT market is something that it's just way above what I know. I just don't look into it that much. Obviously, I had to get well versed in the idea of blockchains and cryptocurrency based on the fact that graphics card prices back in, I want to say 2017, were increasing so much. So it was worthwhile for me to look into that and understand why things like Ethereum were so valuable back then and even more valuable now. But in the case of NFTs, I've just seen a lot of relatively well-known people, celebrities, and etc., within various spaces get into the NFT market, and I'm just like, obviously, there's a lot of money to be made here. You've got NFT exclusive television series starting, and it's just you gotta buy an NFT card, and then that'll get you access to watch the TV show, and I'm just like, yo, this is a little bit too much for me. I don't want to mess with this at all. And if you do, if you're somebody that's just chasing the bag and you got your, I don't know, if you sign an NFT deal or whatever, people are buying it, and I guess people are trading it. Again, it's way out of my pay grade. Just don't bring it into Steam. Stalker 2 with the NFTs, I saw the reaction to that, and I was like, wow, people really upset about Stalker 2, including NFTs, and thankfully, they did take it off. I imagine it's a way for them to, who would have thought, make some money and hopefully, I don't know, pay for cost of development. But in the case of Stalker 2, Microsoft's backing it, so it's that was a little weird one as well. Thankfully, that was redone, and that won't be a thing, but yeah. NFT market, not something that I want to talk about all too much, just because, again, I'm not well versed in it. I'm not gonna, start hating on people for signing multi-million-dollar deals to do their NFTs or whatever. For them, I guess they're just chasing the bag, but, whatever goes on behind the scenes, if anybody wants to educate me in the comment section down below, I have a general idea on why people are upset about it, but I don't know, the super inner workings of it. So yeah, this is definitely an area where I could definitely be educated. But in the case of Steam, it looks like NFTs will remain banned. But moving on from that, here's something that is more up my alley. Valve has no plans for a Steam-like Xbox Game Pass, but would help Microsoft put Xbox Game Pass on PC. Gabe Newell noted to PC Gamer, quote, I don't think it's something that we think we need to do ourselves, building a subscription service at the time, but for their customers, it's clearly a popular option, and we'd be more than happy to work with them to get that on Steam. That's something I think that could do incredibly well. Now, you obviously have to figure out how the revenue would be divided, but if Xbox Game Pass was on Steam, I think it would do incredibly well. I think a lot more people would sign up for it just because Steam has a level of exposure that you're just not going to get on any other platform. Look, we're not privy to numbers that are available, but I really wish we were aware of how much a game's selling on the Epic Game Store versus when it comes out on Steam, because it has to be worlds and worlds apart. I get that there are people that are buying some of these exclusives on Epic Game Store, and good on them, good on the developer and publisher for chasing that bag, but you know, like, I can't imagine, like, the sales are anywhere close to what they would be on Steam. Like, remember when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and it had, like, a 3-week exclusivity period on the Rockstar Store and the Epic Games Store? I would have loved to see what is the sales numbers on all those platforms, because that's a gargantuan of a release, and you're not talking about the lengthiest exclusivity period in the world, so it would have just been fascinating to see, and hopefully we'll get numbers one day, but we just don't have access to those numbers. But Xbox Game Pass, I think, is a little bit different, where, you know, it's $10 a month. The value is so ridiculously awesome that people are just going to be like, all right, it's not on Steam. Who cares? The value is so great. And it's not like Microsoft is limiting access to those games on Steam. You can still buy those games on Steam as regular games. You know, pay your $60 for Forza Horizon 5 or whatever. And don't get it twisted. There are a lot of people that do that. I have quite a few friends that even with Xbox Game Pass, they're just like, bro, I don't dig a subscription service. I'm buying these games on Steam. There's actually an argument that based on the fact that Game Pass opens the avenue to so many more people playing the game based on it just being accessible, that in turn makes other people want to buy those games because they see their friends playing it. A real interesting dichotomy there, I guess you could say, of if that's actually true. But I believe Phil Spencer said something to that effect about Sea of Thieves, so, you know, that's something to take into account as well. I had a friend that bought Gears of War 5 on Steam. So, Gears 5, excuse me, it's not Gears of War 5. Gears 5 on Steam for $60. Day one title, and I had a couple buddies pick up Forza Horizon 5 for $60 on Steam. So, the power of Steam cannot be understated just because of how many people are on it and how much exposure is available. Just if you're available on a Steam banner, if you got, you know, just a place and an ad placement on Steam, not even an ad placement, just placement on Steam, on the front page, that goes a long ways, and that's why we don't see a ton of publishers sign off exclusively to be an Epic Game Store title. It's usually a timed exclusivity, where it is a year, where FF7 Remake, I would imagine it's going to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store for a year, but then ultimately come to Steam just because Steam is so powerful. Steam creating their own Game Pass, I could see it being really effective, but then you're talking about what games do you actually offer on there. It's not like Valve themselves are pumping out games left and right. Obviously, you could work with some indie developers and things like that, but I just don't know how effective that would be. I would rather let Microsoft do their thing. And Valve and Microsoft seem to have a pretty good relationship right now, so why not enhance that relationship by working with Microsoft to get Game Pass on Steam as well? You just, again, Microsoft is spending so much money on Game Pass. This really cannot get lost when you talk about Game Pass. And yes, it's an incredible value, but they are spending an absurd amount of money. And yes, Sony is going to try to make their own quote-unquote competitor, but you can't just expect the amount of effort and resources that Microsoft is putting towards Game Pass to be done by every publisher and every, you know, company out there. It's just it's unreasonable. It might work for Microsoft 5 years, 10 years, because don't get it twisted, this is a long-term plan. It might pay dividends. It might be the smartest thing Microsoft has ever done, but a lot of publishers are not going to be willing to take that risk to forego all of those resources for a subscription service. And you know, we're seeing it happen with a lot of other platforms outside of gaming. So many subscription services are popping up, and maybe one day they'll all be super successful, but I do think it's going to be feast or famine for a lot of them, where some of them become insanely big, some of them go to the wayside, and, you know, having like a billion different competitors in the gaming space as well would get a little bit dicey, so it's a lot to consider. But that's gonna do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Steam banning NFTs, Gabe Newell explaining why, and Valve has no plans for their own Game Pass, but they could work with Microsoft for theirs. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.